Hello everyone and welcome to Kindleflame testing tutorial. Today we'll be overviewing the Mage kit. Now this is one of my personal favorite kits, mostly just because it doesn't have anything special, it doesn't have any special abilities. It's a very mainstream kind of do what you can until you die in a glorious fit of fire. Its strengths lie mostly in enchantments and potion effects, so today we'll be analyzing exactly how best to use them. Okay, so as soon as we equip the kit, we see that a crazy bunch of stuff is equipped onto our person. Get 3 potion effects, all of our items are pretty much enchanted, and we get a bow and a staff. It's a very well-rounded kit in terms of availability on the battlefield. The bow, of course, you cast arrows by dropping it on the ground, picking it up, or doing the inventory trick I showed you in the archer class video. But let's take a look at the enchantments first. We have Mining Fatigue. Now, Mining Fatigue on the field doesn't really have much of an effect, especially with a weapon such as this. You don't really want to just kind of spam click. It's kind of just there to teach players that this is a hit them once, back up, hit them again, back up kind of kit. Because the rod in itself has Fire Aspect 3. This, of course, sets enemies on fire. If you hit them once, start burning, but we'll get into that a little later. We also have Fire Resistance, which can be helpful and very cumbersome. For instance, if you were to fall in the lava on the map, then yeah, you might not have such a good time, but there are some enemies which could light you on fire, like other mages, so that's where it comes into use. Health Boost 2 is also applied, giving you a total of 14 hearts, or 28 health. That's, again, just to make you kind of tanky, more available on the battlefield for more of the time, and to give the healers a chance to do their work. The Blaze Rod, besides Fire Aspect, has Sharpness 5 and Knockback 1. Again, knock them back up, gives you a little more reprieve. The bow has Flame 3, Punch 2, Power 3 on breaking. All very useful enchantments, and all of which the Ranger, excluding the power, does not have. So, yes, a very, very good bow. Just the Ranger's bow is quite a bit more damaging than this one. But before we do, I should say, Chain Armor, Fire Protection 5, Father Falling 1, you know, pretty standard stuff, but again, just more availability in general. Now we get on to whatever it is we wanted to do. Okay, we're joining the game now, and as we spawn, we get the 5 arrows per usual, of course, with the any archer class. This bow, I should express, only 3 shots enemies, but it does set them on fire, so if you waited a bit, then it could have the potential to 2-shot them, but it does require patience, and sometimes you might not have that time on your hands. If you just wanted to shoot them outright, though, you could 1, 2, 3. Oh, I missed. Well, 3 arrows. There you go. You get the point. Now, the bow in itself is not the most powerful part of this kit. It's good, but it's not exceedingly exceptional. It sets them on fire, knocks them back. That's pretty much it. The Blaze Rod is really where the kit comes into itself. Because you can get knockback on this, you can essentially just press S, and even if the enemies you're fighting have speed effects, you can just keep them to range where you can let them burn, do damage to them occasionally, but otherwise be fine. Just keep backing up, so long as you, of course, keep an eye on what's behind you. Now, I should express, when an enemy dies to fire, you do not get the credit for it. See that? The enemy died for fire, and I didn't get anything for killing it. So while it does clear out enemies, you don't actually get points for your team, and it does, unless you're really, really good at kiting, usually end up with you taking a little unnecessary damage. So what I'd recommend using this kit for mostly is to allow your team to do most of the damage, you just to be a disruptor running around the battlefield with your 4 extra hearts, getting in as much damage as possible, but then backing out when it looks proper to back out. As you can see, my fire resistance coming in there. Very, very good potion effects to have when you're fighting those fire archers. The other major ability associated with this class is, of course, its fire resistance. The reason this is so influential is because, well, you are given a bow. And I know I've said that a lot, And I know that I might have said that the bow isn't the most influential part of the kit, but if used properly in the right circumstances, it can be. For instance, these blazes pose a very big problem to normal rangers and archers because they can take damage from fire, they can take damage from the fireballs, and it hurts a lot for an archer to be hit like that with only the leather armor equipped. However, as a mage, you have fire resistance and fire protection. We'll go over to the other stand. Anyway, as I was saying, you have fire resistance and fire protection, which means that if a blaze was to target you and successfully hit you, you would not take as much damage as any other class. And this essentially just gives you permission to go up to the blazes, say, hey, I see you morons up there. Pew! Well, if you had good aim. Pew! Pew! And shoot at them from a distance without taking much unnecessary damage. Yeah, there we go, got one! Shot one, yay! And as you can see, I got 10 points for killing that blaze. Not only is it helpful to the general points of my team, it's also helpful to my team on the battlefield, on the physical side, because the blazes, like I say, do make people burn. They catch people on fire. And for any other class, fire is very detrimental to movement, to overall healthiness, and other attributes, so it's a very good idea to be targeting these blazes down when given the chance. You could even be standing on the bridge or one of these towers and do it pretty safely because the only things in those towers that can possibly hurt you are the zombies, which light you on fire, but fire resistance, yay! So, yeah, positioning is definitely key, which just so happens to be our next section. Okay, so this class, since it isn't given that many special abilities, just a lot of attributes, its main focus will be on being in as many places as possible, no specific area, just being useful all around. Because that's what this kit is really meant for. Like, you're given a bow, you're given a staff, each has knockback, though the bow probably won't for very long. These kits, the mage kits, very, very good in all corners of the map. You could be on these little platforms defending your miners or craftsmen, helping them get the iron. You could be on these towers, as I say, shooting the blazes or killing these skeletons, which would otherwise be shooting your team on the bridge. You could be on the bridge protecting your team who are gathering this gold. And as you saw me over here just a minute ago, you could be up here shooting at the blazes or down on the battlefield. The bow does have flame, so you could essentially be an archer firing down on another archer. And if that archer just happens to be a ranger, then they will probably die to the fire. So it's a very, very good kit for all corners of the map. So there's not really anything specific to get into here. Yay! Well, another successful Kindleflame testing tutorial installment done and dusted. I hope you all enjoyed, and oh my... Why are you guys shooting at me? I'm trying to do an outro, my goodness. Anyway. Yeah, the next kit we're going to be going over is the Ninja Kit. Another one of, you know, my personal favorites. It's going to get some new special abilities soon, so that one might be delayed so that I can actually code those and develop them properly for use. But don't worry, it'll be worth the wait. I hope. I don't know. We'll see. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hooray!